Ever felt like someone stepped into your life at the exact moment you needed them most? Almost as if the universe or something greater paused for a moment, or orchestrating events so precisely that it's hard to call it coincidence. It's not the kind of thing you can plan for or anticipate. It just happens. One day they weren't there, and the next they're standing right in front of you, and somehow everything feels different. This isn't just luck or random chance. It's a deeper, almost sacred alignment. When God chooses someone for you, timing is everything. It doesn't happen when you think you're ready or when you're searching for it. It happens when it's right. And the timing of this kind of connection isn't just convenient, it's profound. It feels like everything in your life, every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment of waiting was leading up to this point. Picture this: your life feels like a chaotic puzzle. Pieces are scattered everywhere. You've been trying to force them together, hoping they'll fit, but nothing works. Then suddenly, without warning, this person shows up, and it's like one piece finally clicks into place. It doesn't solve the whole puzzle, but it brings clarity. It gives you a glimpse of the bigger picture, and for the first time in a long time, you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And here's the remarkable part: this kind of timing often catches you off guard. Maybe you've stopped looking. Maybe you've convinced yourself that it's never going to happen, that you're destined to figure everything out on your own. Then, just when you've let go of control, that's when it happens. It's almost as if God waits for you to stop trying to force your plan so he can show you his. When this person comes into your life, there's a calmness, a sense of this is right. It's not a flashy, dramatic moment. It's quiet, like a whisper to your soul. You might not even fully understand it at first. You just know. There's a peace that settles over you, a kind of reassurance that no amount of logic or planning could ever provide. And it's this timing, this perfect, unexplainable timing, that becomes the first sign. But here's the challenge. Do you recognize it when it happens? Because it's easy to dismiss. You might question it, doubt it, or tell yourself it's too good to be true. But when you look closer, when you really pay attention, you'll see the fingerprints of something divine all over it. So let me ask you, have you felt this before? That sense that the moment someone entered your life, something shifted, something clicked. Maybe it's time to stop calling it coincidence and start seeing it for what it truly is: a moment of divine intervention, a signal that you're stepping into a purpose far greater than you imagined. When God chooses someone for you, there's a kind of alignment that goes beyond surface level attraction or fleeting emotions. It's not just about the chemistry you feel or the conversations you share. It's about something far deeper, an undeniable connection that points toward a shared vision for the future. You start to notice that your values, your goals, and your purpose seem to align in ways that feel too perfect to be accidental. It's as if your paths were always meant to cross, and now that they have, something clicks into place. This kind of alignment isn't always obvious at first. It often begins subtly, like a quiet realization that the things you care about most, the things that truly matter to you, are mirrored in this person. Maybe it's a shared passion for helping others, a commitment to personal growth, or a deep faith that anchors both of your lives. Whatever it is, it creates a bond that feels unshakable. You start to see how your dreams don't just coexist, they complement each other. Together, you don't just talk about a future, you start to envision one that's built on mutual understanding and a common purpose. But this isn't just about having similar interests or agreeing on the same things. It's deeper than that. It's about being able to look at the big picture of life and seeing how your lives fit together in meaningful ways. You find that the things you once felt uncertain about now feel clear because this person doesn't just align with your life, they elevate it. They bring out parts of you that you didn't even know existed, pushing you to dream bigger and aim higher. And here's the remarkable part. This shared vision for the future isn't always easy. It's not about everything falling into place effortlessly. In fact, it often requires hard conversations, compromises, and a willingness to be vulnerable. But the difference is that you both want to put in the work. You're not just building a relationship, you're building a foundation for something much greater. You're building a life together, one that's rooted in mutual respect, love, and a commitment to grow not just individually, but as a team. There's also a sense of balance in this kind of connection. It's not about one person leading and the other following. It's about walking side by side, each bringing your unique strengths to the table. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not or suppress parts of yourself to make things work. Instead, you feel fully seen and fully accepted. This kind of partnership doesn't drain you, it fuels you. It feels like you're both pulling in the same direction, working toward a future that's not just good for you individually, but good for the world around you. One of the most beautiful aspects of this shared vision is how it deepens your faith. When you're with someone who aligns with God's plan for your life, it becomes clear that this connection is about more than just the two of you. It's about what you can achieve together, the lives you can impact, and the way your partnership reflects something greater. There's a sense of divine purpose in your relationship, a feeling that this isn't just about finding happiness, but about fulfilling a calling. And it's not always perfect. There will be challenges. There will be moments when you question if the vision you share is worth the effort it requires. But even in those moments, there's a reassurance that keeps you moving forward. It's not just about what you feel, it's about what you know. You know that this connection is bigger than temporary struggles. You know that the hard times are shaping you, strengthening your bond, and preparing you for what's ahead. When God chooses someone for you, the vision you share doesn't just bring clarity, it brings hope. It reminds you that you're not walking this journey alone. It shows you that love isn't just about comfort or convenience, it's about growth, purpose, and stepping into a future that's far greater than anything you could build on your own. So when you find yourself standing next to someone who shares your values, supports your dreams, and helps you see a future that's filled with meaning, don't take it lightly. That kind of connection is rare, it's a gift, and it's a reminder that when God brings someone into your life, it's never just for the future you're destined to create together. When God chooses someone for you, there's something extraordinary that sets the relationship apart from anything else you've experienced. It's not just about how they make you feel or the connection you share, it's about the stability they bring to your life. Their presence becomes a source of unwavering calm, even when the world around you feels like it's spiraling out of control. It's not the kind of stability that comes from predictable routines or surface-level compatibility. It's deeper. It's something that touches your soul. Imagine being in the middle of a storm. Everything is chaotic, your emotions, your thoughts, your circumstances. You've been trying to hold it all together, but nothing seems to work. And then out of nowhere they show up. Their presence doesn't erase the storm. The chaos is still there, but suddenly it feels manageable. You feel grounded in a way that you haven't before. It's not because they solve your problems or fix your life for you. It's because their presence alone creates an anchor, something steady to hold on to when everything else feels unstable. This kind of connection isn't about perfection or having everything figured out. It's not about a person swooping in to save you. It's about the kind of peace and reassurance they bring just by being there. It's unspoken, almost unexplainable. You find yourself able to face challenges with more courage, not because they've changed your circumstances, but because they've changed the way you feel within them. It's like they remind you of your own strength without even having to say a word. But it's not just about what they bring to you, it's about what you bring to each other. There's a mutual sense of security, a kind of balance that feels rare. You're not walking on eggshells or trying to prove your worth. There's no fear of being misunderstood or judged. Instead, there's this open, honest exchange. You can be vulnerable, and so can they. And in that vulnerability, there's growth. This stability isn't about avoiding problems, it's about facing them together. When arguments happen and you don't feel like the ground beneath you is crumbling. Instead, it feels like an opportunity to understand each other more deeply. It's the kind of connection that makes you want to work through the hard things, not walk away from them. And here's what makes it truly divine. This stability doesn't feel forced. It's not something you have to fight for or demand. It's there because the relationship is aligned with something greater than just the two of you. There's a purpose behind it, a sense that this connection was designed not just for your happiness, but for your growth, your faith, and your journey toward becoming who you're meant to be. So when someone enters your life and brings this kind of peace and stability, don't take it lightly. It's not a coincidence. It's a sign, a reminder that some connections are meant to anchor you in a way the world never could. When God chooses someone for you, it's never just about companionship or fulfilling a personal longing. It's about something much bigger, a purpose that extends beyond the two of you. It's as though the connection is designed not just to make you happy, but to challenge you, to grow you, and to prepare you for something greater. Together, you are meant to create a ripple effect, touching lives and making an impact that neither of you could achieve on your own. This kind of relationship isn't merely about being in sync with someone or having similar dreams. It's about discovering that your paths don't just align, they converge. When you look at your journey alongside theirs, you realize that your lives are meant to move toward a shared purpose. It might be subtle at first, but as time passes, it becomes undeniable. You see it in the way they encourage your growth, the way they challenge your perspective, and the way they inspire you to think beyond yourself. And that's the key. This relationship isn't just about the two of you. It's about what you can accomplish together. You start to notice that your strengths and weaknesses complement each other in ways that feel intentional. Where you fall short, they step in, and where they struggle, you bring clarity. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being willing to work together to lift each other up and to pursue something meaningful as a team. But let's be honest, this kind of calling isn't always easy. In fact, it can be daunting. When you realize that your relationship is about more than personal happiness, it changes the way you approach it. You start to see that the love you share is a responsibility, a gift that comes with the challenge of living up to its potential. This is not about settling into comfort, it's about stepping into purpose. The beauty of this is that the purpose you're called to doesn't have to be grand or flashy. It doesn't mean you'll necessarily lead movements or change the world in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's in the smaller, quieter acts of service that your shared purpose is fulfilled. Maybe you'll raise a family that reflects your values, or maybe you'll support each other in careers that impact lives in meaningful ways. Whatever it is, it feels significant because it is. When God brings someone into your life, it's not about what the world sees, it's about what He sees. As you walk this path together, you'll notice something incredible, the way your relationship strengthens your faith. This kind of connection has a way of drawing you closer to God because it constantly reminds you of His presence. When you see how perfectly your lives fit together, how your strengths and dreams align, it becomes impossible to deny that there's a higher plan at work. You begin to see your relationship as part of a bigger story, one that's being written not by chance, but by divine intention. There's also a sense of accountability that comes with this. Knowing that your relationship is part of God's plan pushes you to be better, not just for yourself, but for each other and for the purpose you've been called to. It's no longer about what you can get out of the relationship, it's about what you can give. You begin to see love not as a transaction, but as a mission. Of course, there will be challenges. No great calling comes without obstacles. There will be times when it feels easier to focus on yourselves than to think about the bigger picture. There will be moments when the weight of your shared purpose feels overwhelming. But even in those moments, there's something that keeps you grounded, a sense of peace and clarity that comes from knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. When God chooses someone for you, it's not about finding the person who completes you. It's about finding someone who complements you in a way that allows both of you to become more than you could ever be alone. Together, you create something extraordinary, a partnership that reflects love, faith, and purpose. And through that partnership, you not only grow as individuals, but also make an impact on the world around you. So if you've ever wondered why someone was brought into your life, consider this. What if it wasn't just about you? What if this connection was meant to inspire, challenge, and equip you to serve a greater purpose? What if together you were chosen to do something that truly matters? That's the beauty of a relationship ordained by God. It's never just about the present. It's about building a legacy one step at a time with a love that reflects something far greater than yourselves. When God chooses someone for you, the love you share is unlike anything you've experienced before. It's not just about romance or fleeting emotions. It's about a connection that feels sacred, one that is rooted in selflessness and reflects something much deeper than physical attraction or surface level compatibility. This love stands out because it mirrors the kind of love God has for us, patient, kind, and enduring. It's not about what you can take, but about what you can give. It's about lifting each other up, even when it's hard, and loving in a way that reflects grace and compassion. This love isn't perfect, but it's real. It's the kind of love that doesn't crumble under pressure or fade when things get tough. It stays steady through the storms of life, holding firm when everything else feels uncertain. You'll find that this person isn't just there for the good times, they're present in the moments of struggle too. They don't walk away when things get messy or complicated. Instead, they stay offering support and reassurance when you need it most. Their love feels like a safe place, a refuge where you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. This love also challenges you. It's not about making you feel comfortable all the time, it's about helping you grow. They hold up a mirror to your soul, not to criticize or tear you down, but to help you see the areas where you can become better. This isn't always easy to accept. Growth can be uncomfortable, and it requires humility to admit where you've fallen short. But this love pushes you in a way that makes you stronger, wiser, and more in tune with your purpose. It's the kind of love that doesn't let you stay stagnant. At the same time, this love is incredibly freeing. You don't feel the need to pretend or wear a mask around this person. They see you for who you are, flaws and all, and they choose to love you anyway. There's no pressure to meet impossible standards or prove your worth. With them, you feel fully seen, fully known, and fully accepted. And that acceptance gives you the courage to be your authentic self, to embrace your strengths and work on your weaknesses without fear of rejection. But what makes this love truly divine is that it points back to God. It's not just about the two of you, it's about something greater. The way this person loves you reflects the way God loves you, with grace, forgiveness, and an unshakable commitment. When you experience this kind of love, it deepens your faith. It reminds you that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, a daily decision to put someone else's needs above your own. It's about serving each other, encouraging each other, and walking through life together with a shared purpose. This love also extends outward. It doesn't stop with the two of you. Instead, it spills over into the way you treat others, the way you serve your community, and the way you reflect God's love to the world. Together you become a team, united in your mission to make a difference. Whether it's through small acts of kindness or larger acts of service, your love becomes a source of light that touches the lives of those around you. And yet this love is not without challenges. It's easy to talk about selflessness and grace, but living it out every day requires effort and commitment. There will be times when you don't feel like being patient or forgiving. There will be moments when your own needs and desires feel bigger than the call to serve each other. But in those moments, this love calls you to rise above, to remember that true love isn't about always getting what you want. It's about giving, even when it's hard, and trusting that the love you pour out will come back to you in ways you can't even imagine. When God chooses someone for you, their love becomes a reflection of His love, steadfast, unchanging, and full of grace. It's a love that makes you better, not just as a partner, but as a person. It teaches you patience, humility, and the beauty of putting someone else's needs above your own. And through that love, you begin to understand in a small but powerful way what it means to be truly loved by God. This kind of love isn't just about making life easier or happier. It's about making life fuller, richer, and more meaningful. It's about building a connection that withstands the test of time and reflects the values and purpose God has placed in your life. When you find it, you'll know it's not something you could have orchestrated on your own. It's a gift, a reminder that love, when chosen by God, is always greater than anything you could have dreamed of for yourself. When God chooses someone for you, there's a profound shift in how you see yourself, how you see the world, and how you approach life. It's not just about finding someone who fits into your current life. It's about finding someone who encourages you to evolve, who pushes you to become the person you were always meant to be. It's as if this person steps into your life and brings with them a new sense of clarity, a new vision for the future, and a new energy that ignites something deep within you. At first, it might feel subtle. You might not even realize how deeply their presence is changing you. But over time, you begin to see the shift. You start to notice that the way you approach challenges, the way you think about your goals, and even the way you look at yourself is different. Their influence doesn't impose itself on you, rather it draws out the best parts of you. You feel encouraged to dream bigger, to push past your limitations, and to take steps toward growth that you might have once thought were impossible. This person doesn't just walk alongside you, they walk with you into the future, showing you what's possible. They help you recognize your potential, even when you've doubted it yourself. They don't just cheer you on from the sidelines, they get in the trenches with you. They don't tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear, even if it's hard. And in those moments of challenge, they don't pull away, they stay, helping you see the bigger picture, encouraging you to push through the discomfort and reach for something greater. And here's the beauty of it, this growth doesn't come from pressure or expectation. It doesn't feel like you have to prove yourself to them or live up to some impossible standard. It comes from a place of trust and respect. They believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. They encourage you not because they expect something in return, but because they genuinely want to see you thrive. And when you see that kind of unconditional belief, it sparks something inside of you, a desire to honor that trust and to become the best version of yourself. This kind of growth isn't just about external achievements or checking off boxes. It's about becoming more grounded in who you are, more secure in your identity, and more aligned with your purpose. It's about discovering the strength you didn't know you had, the wisdom that was always there, waiting to be tapped into. It's about realizing that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Not because someone told you, but because you felt it deep inside your soul. But growth isn't always comfortable. It requires vulnerability, humility, and a willingness to face your flaws. There will be moments when the person chosen for you challenges you in ways that feel uncomfortable. They might push you to confront your fears, your insecurities, or parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. But here's the thing, it's in those moments of discomfort that the real growth happens. When you allow yourself to face your weaknesses and acknowledge your imperfections, you open the door to transformation. And this person, through their love and support, gives you the space to do that. This kind of growth also brings clarity. When you're with someone who is aligned with God's purpose for your life, you begin to see things more clearly. You see your path, your goals, and your vision with new eyes. You begin to understand why certain things happen in your life, the struggles, the heartaches, the setbacks as part of a larger story. You see how every experience, every moment of pain has shaped you into the person you are today, and how it has prepared you for the person you are becoming. The more you grow, the more you realize that this connection is about more than just personal development. It's about your relationship with God. As you evolve and grow, you draw closer to Him. You see that this person is not just a partner, they are a guide, a mentor, someone who helps you strengthen your relationship with your Creator. They challenge you to live in alignment with your faith, to act with integrity, and to lead a life that reflects the love of God. And what's incredible is that as you grow together, you start to build something that's bigger than the two of you. Your personal growth isn't just about your individual success. It's about how your growth fuels the growth of your relationship, your purpose, and the impact you have on others. You begin to see that this isn't just a journey toward personal fulfillment. It's a journey toward creating something greater than yourselves, a life that serves a purpose and reflects God's love in the world. So when you find someone who encourages you to grow in this way, someone who sees you not just for who you are, but for who you can become, don't take it lightly. This isn't just a relationship. It's a partnership in growth. It's an invitation to step into a future that's filled with possibilities, challenges, and transformation. Together, you're not just walking through life, you're growing, evolving, and stepping into the person you were always meant to be. And in doing so, you'll create something beautiful not just for yourselves, but for the world around you. When God chooses someone for you, there's a profound sense of peace that settles into your life, a peace that doesn't come from everything being perfect, but from knowing that this connection is part of something bigger than yourself. It's as if every step, every moment that led to meeting this person was orchestrated with purpose. This sense of divine alignment isn't always immediately obvious, but when it hits, it's unmistakable. You feel it in your soul, a deep knowing that this person was meant to be in your life, and that together, you're being guided toward a higher calling. What makes this peace so remarkable is that it transcends the usual comforts we seek in relationships. It's not about avoiding conflict or ensuring everything goes smoothly. It's about finding a deep trust in the process of life, knowing that even when things get tough, you're not alone. There's a sense of confidence that comes from knowing God's hand is in this, guiding you, shaping you, and leading you towards something more meaningful than anything you could have imagined on your own. This peace doesn't erase the challenges that come with relationships, but it transforms how you experience them. You begin to see struggles as opportunities for growth, not as roadblocks or signs that something is wrong. When you face obstacles, instead of feeling overwhelmed or defeated, you feel an inner strength that you didn't know you had. You realize that even in the hardest moments, God is working within you both to refine your character and deepen your bond. And through this, the peace that comes from knowing you're in the right place with the right person becomes an anchor that keeps you grounded no matter what comes your way. It's also in the small moments of everyday life where this peace becomes tangible. It's in the quiet conversations where you find yourselves on the same page, the laughter you share over nothing at all, and the way your presence together feels like home. It's a peace that grows stronger the more you trust each other, the more you surrender to God's will for your lives. The beauty of it is that this peace doesn't depend on the external circumstances. It's not tied to a perfect situation or a flawless relationship. It's about a deeper understanding that your connection is part of a divine plan, and that no matter the ups and downs, you're exactly where you need to be. This kind of peace also brings clarity to your purpose. When God chooses someone for you, you begin to see your relationship as something that extends beyond personal fulfillment. It's not just about finding happiness in each other's company. It's about understanding that this connection is a tool for growth both individually and as a couple. Together, you're meant to do something with your lives, something that has a lasting impact. You start to see the ways in which your shared purpose aligns with God's will, and you realize that your union is part of His bigger plan for the world. The clarity that comes with this peace gives you a sense of direction. You start to see how everything in your life, every experience, every lesson learned, every hardship endured has been a step toward this moment, this relationship. The past doesn't feel like a series of disconnected events. It feels like a story that has led you both to this exact point, preparing you for the work you're called to do together. With this clarity, you can approach life with confidence, knowing that each step you take, each decision you make, is part of a larger narrative that is unfolding just as it should. There's also a deep comfort that comes from knowing that this peace is rooted in trust, not just in each other, but in God. When God chooses someone for you, there's a mutual trust that doesn't come from personal efforts or human striving, but from knowing that you are both surrendered to God's will. This trust becomes the foundation of your relationship. It's not about trying to control or manipulate the situation to make it fit your desires. It's about trusting that God knows what's best for you both and that He will guide you through every challenge, every change, and every season of life. In the moments of doubt or fear, this trust in God provides the peace that keeps you from falling apart. You may not have all the answers and you may not know exactly where the future is headed, but you know this: God is leading you, and as long as you keep trusting Him, you'll be just fine. That trust becomes a shield against anxiety, fear, and uncertainty. So when you find someone who brings this peace into your life, recognize it for what it is: a blessing. This isn't just a relationship. It's a divine connection that has been placed in your life for a purpose. It's a partnership that not only strengthens your bond with each other, but also strengthens your relationship with God. Together, you're walking the path He has laid before you. And that path, no matter how difficult or uncertain, is the one that will lead you to peace, purpose, and fulfillment. When God chooses someone for you, the peace that follows isn't just a temporary feeling, it's a deep, abiding presence that anchors you through every season of life. When God chooses someone for you, it's not just about love, it's about growth, personal, spiritual, and relational. You'll notice it in the way you start to see the world differently, the way your values are challenged, and the way your own perspective begins to shift. This isn't just the result of time spent with someone you care about, it's the result of being in a relationship that's grounded in something deeper. There's an undeniable feeling that you are being molded into someone better, someone more aligned with your true purpose. This person is not just a companion, they are part of God's plan to shape you into the person He always intended you to be. As you walk through life with them, you'll realize that the connection you share isn't just a source of comfort, it's a catalyst for change. The way they challenge you, whether through their words, actions, or simply the way they live their life, pushes you to reflect, to grow, and to take ownership of your own journey. They don't just make you feel good, they make you want to be better. It's as if their presence in your life acts as a mirror, reflecting not only your strengths, but also the areas where you need to improve. And rather than being offended or discouraged by this, you begin to embrace it because you understand that this is part of the process, part of becoming more like who God has designed you to be. This growth isn't always easy. There will be moments when it's uncomfortable, when you find yourself confronted with parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But this is where the magic happens. Growth isn't about staying in your comfort zone. It's about stepping outside of it and allowing yourself to be stretched and refined. This person's influence in your life isn't about making things easy. It's about making things meaningful. You'll be challenged to reconsider your attitudes, your habits, and even your beliefs. But as you do, you'll find that the growth that follows isn't just about self-improvement, it's about transformation. What's remarkable about this kind of growth is that it doesn't happen in isolation. It's a mutual process. As you grow, so do they. And as they grow, you'll see how their transformation shapes you in ways you never expected. This relationship is not a one-sided effort, it's a partnership. You're both working together to become more than what you were before. You're both evolving, and in doing so, you create a stronger, more resilient connection that reflects the work God is doing in both of your lives. The growth you experience isn't just about improving yourself for the sake of improvement. It's about becoming more aligned with God's will. As you develop, you begin to see more clearly what He's calling you to do, how He's asking you to live, and how He wants you to serve others. The relationship is no longer just about personal satisfaction or fulfillment. It's about fulfilling a greater purpose together. The love you share becomes not only a source of personal strength, but also a source of strength for those around you. Your growth together doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone you come into contact with. You'll also notice that as you grow, you begin to see things in a more eternal perspective. The trials and challenges you face together no longer seem like setbacks. Instead, they are opportunities to deepen your faith, strengthen your trust in God, and refine your character. You begin to understand that growth is not just about what you accomplish in this life, it's about who you become in the process. This shift in perspective helps you navigate life with a sense of peace and purpose, knowing that every struggle, every challenge, and every victory is part of a larger story that God is writing for you both. And perhaps most importantly, you begin to see how your growth impacts the people around you. As you grow individually and as a couple, your relationship becomes a reflection of God's love and grace. It's not just about what you do for each other, but about what you can do for the world. You'll find that as you lean into your relationship and trust the process of growth, you're not just becoming better people, you're becoming better instruments of God's will. You're learning to love, serve, and lead in a way that reflects His heart. When God chooses someone for you, the growth you experience is a beautiful, ongoing process. It doesn't happen all at once. It's a journey that unfolds over time as you both continue to walk in faith, lean into each other, and trust that the work God is doing in your lives will be revealed in His perfect timing. The person chosen for you isn't just someone to walk beside you. They're there to walk with you through the process of becoming who God has always intended you to be. And as you grow together, you'll discover a depth of connection, purpose, and love that you never could have imagined. It's a process that transforms not only your relationship, but your entire life. Now take a moment to reflect. Have you seen these signs in your life? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to recognize their own divine connection. And if this resonated with you, hit subscribe and join our growing community of seekers. Let's uncover truth together.
Beneath the stars we whisper dreams. A violin plays soft, it seems. The night unfolds its velvet wings. We dance on air like fancy things. A crescendo builds with every beat. Our hearts, they dance in perfect heat. The world is ours in silent screams. We're floating high on whispering dreams. Together we are one sweet song. The night won't be too late, too long. Our melody will carry on in every note where we belong. The orchestra, it swells to life. The strings, they cut the dark like a knife. Your voice an echo in my soul. In every verse we find the goal. Oh, violins, they cry so pure. In every touch we find the cure. Your hand in mine, the music flows. In whispered dreams, the magic grows. Together